What's good? What's good? What's good? Episode 54. What's good, my Dragon's Den people out there? And man, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there and some of you fathers that, out there doing mother roles. Let's get it, man. I'm happy to have everybody pull up, get in them chats. Spidey Ring and Cuckoo is in the building. I see y'all out here. Share this out, man. Get the community involved. Hit Twitter, retweet, whatever you need to do. Let's get it full, fun, and fantastic up in the building, man. And woo, my boy PK, the most electrifying YouTuber, is back in the building. PK, I know you had a rough week and all that, but man, have you been gaming? What you been doing, brother? Welcome back, brother.
Taking care of business, but I'm here. We got some, Overwatch beta, Overwatch 2 beta been out. The Overwatch League is happening right now. It's exciting times. It's re-electrifying everybody's love for the game. And I can't wait to see all the changes as it evolves.
Did you get a chance to play it?
Not yet. They're going to release new codes on the 9th.
Well, if you get an extra one, but I don't got it on PC, though.
Yeah, they'll release console betas at some point, but right now it's just PC. But it'll all work out. Like I said, it's just the excitement for the game right now.
Okay. Well, good to have you back, my brother. Your energy was definitely missed last week. We know we love you over here. And shout out to Back from the Dead and Smitty Smith pulling up in that chat, man. Get in them chats. Get to socializing with the community, man. Because this is why we here, man. And like I said, happy Mother's Day to all y'all mothers and grandmothers and aunts and nieces out there, man. This is a very grand weekend. Now we're going to get into the birthday girl who's still out here birthday celebrating. Akumu, what's been good with you? I know you've been partying. How have you been? What you been playing? Have you been streaming? What's good, sis?
No, I have not streamed because I'm like, I'm gonna stream tonight, and then I'll get a message from like a friend and be like, let me take you out tonight, and I'm like, okay, and then it's like because I took this week off to get a break between so that I didn't finish a job and then go straight into another job. I was like, I'm gonna take me a little mini vacation. So then it's like, you don't work tomorrow, all right, let me take you out for dinner, let's have some drinks, and then by the time I get home, I'm just like, man, I'm tired, like I'm just like, okay, so I'm like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And then of course getting stuff set up for the new job, because then they would call me and they're like, okay, we just want to double check on this and that. And so no, I haven't been streaming, unfortunately, but I have been having fun. And I still have been playing games. There was a few codes for the LV1 gaming that I'm going to be doing reviews on that are due at the end of the month. So they were like, oh, hey, I know we talked about this before last month. You still good? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I got time right now. So I've just kind of been doing that. I can't stream those because embargo. So I've been working on those reviews during the daytime. And like I said, always going to just plan to stream at night. And then a family member will get it. Hey, are you off tomorrow? Yeah. You off right now? Yeah. All right. Let me take you to dinner. All right.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. And you already know, shout out to everybody in chat. I see my man Selfish Gamer pull up. My man Sean. TTS, baby. You know how we give it up. That's my guy right there. And of course, Bloody Chuckles is in the chat. And he's definitely, and I gotta welcome back my kid, you know what I'm saying, for college. My gracious, beautiful child. She's back. You know what I'm saying? So, man, with that being said, it's the host with the most, man. You already know it's your boy, not Lemonius, Sean. It's your boy Lemetius, right-handed Zeus, and I welcome everybody to this chat where we try to give y'all, in this podcast, where we try to give y'all great energy, facts, and we just keeping it 100 with the gaming news, man. No bias, and we definitely keep it organic. So we going to hop into these topics. The first topic I want to talk about is something PK brought up to my situation late. We going to talk about this. Microsoft may be dropping their streaming stick and app within the next 12 months. Now, I'm pretty sure PK could run away with this situation, but we're going to go to the master, queen of the group. Akumu, talk to me. What do you think about this whole situation with this xCloud and app and the streaming stick?
I am Me personally, I'm excited. Like I'm ready for it. Um Especially as you know, when I do stream off my Xbox, it's all right here next to my computer. So sometimes if I'm just like, you know what, I just want to chill, I got to unplug everything. I got to move it back to like my TV so I can sit on the couch and I can play the game. And it just gets to that point where it's just like, man, I don't want to be moving it back and forth anytime I want to do it, because sometimes it's like I want to chill, I want to play something for me maybe before a stream, so I'll move it there, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to move it back here and I got to get it set up because I'm planning on playing, like, say, Mass Effect, because I've been playing that on stream, so I'm like, let me set everything up again. So to get like an app for like the smart TV or even like a stick or something that I could just plug in and be able to play like my games like that, like I am 100% for that, because I'm not gonna have to be bouncing back and forth with my console. I'll be like, okay, it stays here. And then, like I said, I'll have an app on my TV or like the stick, and I'll just log in and I'm like, I'll play it that way, and I'm good. So I'm ready.
Okay, okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. Let me see what's up to my brother 100, Mr. Xbox Day One podcast. He comes on tonight at I think 10:30 my time. Yo, you want to go over there and somebody TTSing? That boy is TTSing all day. And shout out to Sean with that $10 euros. Talk that TTS, my brother. You already know how we give it up, man. I love supporting you, my guy, and I can't wait till you be able to get your super chats popping when you put that time in. You are so funny, and I want to get you on, but you know we don't be cursing and wilding. We talk that ish, but we don't be. I just keep it PG-13. But anyway, shout out to my sister in the chat who says don't say her name out loud. So I'm gonna let people in the chat. I want you to type her name out and just say hello to my little sister who just pulled up. Ain't nothing like family support. God damn it.
What's her name out loud?
Yeah.
What's her name so I don't say it?
No. I want you to say it. I'm just not gonna say it. It's in the chat. Brittany James. Oh, damn.
You said it. You fell for the old. You fell for my trap card.
Hey, I wanted to say it. She gonna tell me why you keep saying my name. It's in the chat. She crazy. So PK, this was your topic, man, and I thought this was an X situation, and I'm gonna tell y'all something that y'all possibly not gonna believe, that I'm not for this. Not for me. But anyway, talk about it, man. Talk to me. What kind of excitement does this bring for you?
Well, I think is showing that they ready to start having dedicated support specifically straight out of the TV. Like, that's new, and it's a good thing, because now not only are we gonna be able to get on our Game Pass on a stick, but dedicated apps from the TV. That means even when you're out and about, you
Mm-hmm.
be able to get your gaming in. And it's, like I said, it's dedicated support. All you need is your controller. At the end of the day, that's a huge boon, right? Because
Yeah.
how long did it
Yeah.
take us to get like Netflix and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Now that TVs are smart, and then that just, you know what I mean? What in the back in the day, you had to have a DVD player or something. You know what I mean? Now it's all about the apps, and what do you have? Do you got Paramount and Netflix, HBO, all that stuff? It's just a big deal, man. It's a good push, and it shows that they're dedicated to this direction of putting gaming on another level. It's not just Xbox, but gaming in general on this level where, you know what I mean? Now we can enjoy our hobbies on a different medium going forward. This is cemented itself as a thing, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right. That's it.
Yeah, I
Oh, all
mean,
right.
who out there in the chat wants to have gaming on the go? You really don't want to have nothing, but maybe a controller.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Mhm.
definitely good on vacation. But I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm gonna say this, man. I'm
Or
deep.
or you want to go over somebody's house and you don't want to take your stuff.
Right.
But
Right. It's
you got this.
definitely oh, my bad. Sorry, PK. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go. You good. Just saying, I'm agreeing with you. Co-signing.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm deep in the Microsoft ecosystem. I just picked up the phone. I did a review. People go check that out. I show controllers and connections and how Game Pass works on it. I just picked up the Surface Pro 8, and I'm deep in the ecosystem. I believe in apps, right? The stick will be fire. You just could sign in. You could extend your account, and new people don't gotta buy consoles. They could, and even if they put the apps on these TVs, but they need to get like the Samsung deals with the number one selling TV on the planet. But if this is for me, this is not an option. But for the masses, this is a fantastic situation. They've been working very hard on xCloud. Game Pass is definitely the best deal in gaming. The reason I say it's not for me because I'm so deep into the ecosystem. Like Game Pass on my Surface 8 with a controller, and it's a thin device. Yeah, it weighs 2 pounds. Let's be 1.96 pounds, but it's a device pick up portably, and I'm on the road with it. Same thing with my Surface Duo 2. Like I said, I did the video on that, and so this would not be for me, but I can see where this can be a huge success for the market for people not wanting consoles or just don't have the space or the money. So if this can come out, I say with the stick with a controller bundle, because we did talk about this last year. It looks like that would be a great idea for a great price if they got to touch the right market. I think 150 would put them in the right space for this because that would be just awesome. But in that aspect, I think is dope. And you get these apps on the TVs, and all you need is a Bluetooth controller. That's a win-win. So hopefully we can see within these next 12 months, and this comes to fruition. And it's a great business move for Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have I don't know how many more people. They're already close. I think 30 million already at Game Pass. Some crazy number. So listen, man. Shout out to Dragonheart Yobi in the chat as always, my brother. So I think this is a great business decision, and hopefully it just turns out to be fantastic because Game Pass is winning, man. This is winning for the parents who just don't want to buy a bunch of games for their kids, and you get $10 a month. You got hundreds and hundreds of games to play, back catalog, and listen, it's crazy. So
So think about this. They just made it so that you can play Fortnite on xCloud,
that's a
right?
fact.
So think about how many more free games that's going to be a part of that you could just access without having to install, spend any kind of extra cash on, but just play. You know what I mean? All you need is your controller.
Bloody is so stupid. Sometimes when y'all be talking, I'll be giggling, I'll be reading the chat. It's just
No, I mean, this is huge, especially for people who got iOS who could
yeah.
not play Fortnite, and now Microsoft made it so that you could play Fortnite no matter what.
Yeah.
Jigga J was good. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't even know what Apple's problem is. Your gaming service is horrible. Like,
But it was Google too. Didn't Google take it down also?
Well, they didn't. What it is they're finding a way to charge outside of their pay processor because Google and Apple gets 30% of the cut on everything they make.
Right, right.
30% is huge. So what they did was, hey, you could just buy straight from us from the site and you be good and we can keep all of our money. Well, that violates Apple's terms of service. Now, Apple is a well-known company that's all about closed ecosystem. They don't like no one. That's their thing. They like
well,
to
how about they
control.
put a better effort into their thing? If you're gonna eliminate something else, right? Make an effort to make your games and stuff top notch. Compete. They're not even competing. So
Well, I get that part, but it's about money at the end of the day. It ain't even about games. They just want to ensure that they getting their cut and that they're that's just all it's about. They want to make sure. Well, I won't say it's all about. Like I said, their whole thing is about keeping everything closed,
true indeed.
100%.
True
So
indeed.
if it's someone's going outside of that and doing some, you know what I mean, there could be some security concerns with that too. You know what I mean? If someone's doing anything on the outside. This is why the Androids and and iOS is completely different philosophies.
Mm.
One is open, one is closed. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's just that's just the way
That's
they
just
do
how the
things.
companies work. Right.
So when you do anything against their philosophy, they got a problem with it, no matter what it is. And I'm not upset at it. I'm not saying they wrong or right. I'm just saying that's what it leads to. But the point is, there is a way for people to play without and bypassing that whole situation, because at the end of the day, it's the consumers that are hurting, right? It's the
Facts.
gamers. So if that barrier is removed and Microsoft remove that barrier, that's a win. That
Yeah,
means
facts.
somebody might even,
You had even people
more
trying to
people.
shut down Game Pass in
Yeah,
their browsers.
Mhm.
Like that's what you talk about, Akuma, right? When they tried to tried to shut out Microsoft Game Pass in their browser. Y'all petty.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. I mean, and this is not the first, to be fair, this is not the first time it's happened. It's not the first app. I'm sure it's not going to be the last. They're always going to try. And that's the thing. This whole thing with like the X Cloud and stuff, it's just a way around it, but it's a legitimate legal way around it that it's just like, all right, well, let's see how you're going to try to complain about this.
Facts. Facts. And let me play 100s and Sean's favorite song. Now y'all don't probably know what this is. I mean, y'all know what it is, but Sean, you probably like, what is Lemon talking about? That song's for y'all too. It's all there. Don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at the messenger. Mad at the person responsible. Be mad at Microsoft because they definitely coming for your heads out here. So now we're gonna talk about something that's really very disappointing as a tech man that I am, man. And I'd rather not have an option just to say it's there, right? This week, PlayStation released in your console because it wasn't an update, it just appeared. The PlayStation VRR has officially launched. It took them forever, a year and some change to get for PlayStation VRR. And I'm not a VRR advocate because it doesn't save every game and every developer does not implement it properly, for it to be exploited in these systems. But I'm going to say this for the record. If you're going to give us VRR, give us 100% of what the VRR entails. Now, this comes because this is where you start coming up short in your RDNA 1.2 or 1.5 or not 2.0, whatever you want to call it. Because I don't like quoting Digital Foundry because when they decide to put their spin on things, people take a spin as facts. But when they just give you the numbers, that's when I quote them. So I'm going to say something for the record. Sony released the PSVRR and it is not performing like that it's supposed to. It is not covering the frame rates that it's supposed to. Why even put it out? Why limit the VRR situation and you're not covering all the frame rates that VRR is supposed
I
to
can
handle?
answer that.
No, I'm gonna get to you. I just want to put out the lingo before I know you pops are gonna kill him. But that's why I'm gonna save you for last. But Akumu, this half-baked VRR, I was disappointed because well, whatever. But it's typical. But why do you even think that this is even released now? Because they're getting killed by everyone. So, do you see an improvement? Did you even care? I mean, talk to me.
I mean, okay, well, first, to answer your second question first, or the last question first. We spoke about it last week, and I don't care. Like, one, I don't have a PlayStation 5 as it is. Two, even like my other consoles that have that capability, I don't use it because I don't need it for my monitors or TV.
It's not something you control. It just happens.
Okay, well, I never went in and set one up or turned it off, so I'll be honest.
It's automatic.
Got you. But yeah, I mean, from the PS5 standpoint, I don't have one, so I'm like, it's not like I have anything to compare from like the before and after, right? Oh, this is how it was before the support came about, and I haven't really been able to see. And it's different even watching like videos because sometimes I'm a skeptic and sometimes I'm like, okay, well, somebody could have a little bit of editing magic here or there. And I'm like, so I could be a little bit skeptical when it comes to things like that. So I mean, and maybe that's just me, but I take things like that, especially with like a grain of salt, because I'm like, I edit videos sometimes. Like, I know how to edit videos. I've done it for work. I've done it for my class when I originally went through my program. So I'm just like, I know the magic of editing.
Facts.
But I think they made a mistake releasing it at least as soon as they did. It feels like they released it because one, people were complaining about it. Two, people are talking about, well, like, oh, well, the Xbox Series X has it. Oh, this has it. So I think maybe like they felt pressured. The thing is like you said, they did it and it's like it doesn't even work for some of the things. Like if I remember correctly what I was reading, you have to have like it's like a 2.1 HDMI. So if you have like an older model of monitor or TV, it's not going to work.
Not gonna work.
It only works with some of the PlayStation 5 games. It works with none of the PlayStation 4 games that they say are backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5. So it doesn't even work with those. I'm trying to think like yeah, they have two settings in there where it's like, oh, use it for PlayStation 5 games or something and use it for all games. And then even if you push it for all games, half the time it still doesn't work. So it's just like, okay, so you put out a product that I don't know. It honestly feels like it's a coin flip. Like, is it gonna work on this game? Coin flip. Heads yes, tails no.
And
Oh, it landed on
they
tails.
definitely not giving you the information.
Right, exactly. And that kind of puts me back, and I know we talked about this like months ago about when it first kind of like the PlayStation 5 and things like that were coming about and their TVs, and then how they were pushing people to buy their newer TVs and high-end TVs. And it's like, oh, well, if you want these certain things, you're gonna need to upgrade your TV.
Yeah,
And
they
then
try to
like
push you into a TV that they of choice that they say because they're not doing support for all their
right,
TVs. Right.
right, exactly. And it's the same thing in this situation where they're like, even if you have a 2.1 TV or monitor, it still might not even work with that because is it compatible now with the PlayStation 5, VRR? They're like, maybe not. So in a way, they're still going like, well, if your mon doesn't work, here's a list of monitors that we own, wink, wink, that will work. And if it happens to push into the 2-3 grand, well, that's just how it happens.
Yeah, that's why they dropped the number 5 in selling TVs. Anyway, let's move on. Shout out to my brother Dirt Griggity from We Bleed Green podcast with the $10 super chat. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to the homie 108, aka the man who named me Lemonius. Oh my God, I can't let you live that down, bro. I cannot let you live that down. You my God. Oh my God.
You letting grown men nickname you now?
Watch your mouth. You watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. PK, talk to me, man, because I don't like a feature. What's crazy is there's VRR in the Xbox Series S. How they can get it right on a so-called inferior system? And listen, don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you what's going on in the market right now. I'm just saying this is blasphemy. Like, talk to me, PK. I know you got some flames for them over there at Sony.
So let's just start with VR is a feature that's been available since in the Xbox One S and X. So it's nothing new.
Right?
Xbox One S and X.
Yeah, the 1X. Right.
and the One S.
They have VRR on the One S.
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I ain't have. Well, I did have one. I did. I had the.
So it's been around since what, 2017?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a feature.
Mm-hmm.
Now I
Quick
want to answer.
question.
Well, hang on.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
just
yeah.
put
No,
it
you
out here.
got it. You got it.
I might answer your question.
Yeah. I hope my man Crispy is watching. That
I
Gears of
think
War
it's
work, and
funny.
that's old content. Facts.
I think it's funny that you see PlayStation dudes post pictures. You cannot see VRR.
No, you
Okay,
cannot.
it's not
Mm-hmm.
something you can see on a picture or a video.
Hey,
All
can I
right,
hold on?
unless
Hold on.
they're
Let me stop you real quick. And let me shout out to my dude Wetworks, who told me he did a test in his house and he was looking at the TV to see. And I
oh,
didn't want to go back and forth with him, but I'm glad you said that.
it's not.
I was
It's
like,
not.
you did a comparison in your house with your eyeballs for VRR. He was like, yes. I was like, okay. Go ahead, continue, PK.
So uh, so it's nothing you can see, right? Um, Basically, it's not a graphical enhancement. That's what people don't understand. Number two, you got to have a TV that says it actually supports the feature. You know why most of the PlayStation dudes are celebrating, but they don't. They posting pictures. They don't know what it does.
Or
They
false videos.
they think it's something you can see. When 90% of everyone that plays on PlayStation doesn't even have a TV that specifically support it. Let's be real. There's only one Sony TV that supports it, and more than likely they don't even have it.
Uh-oh.
Right?
Get ready for these
And
shots. The shots is coming. I'm gonna pull on my bulletproof vest real soon.
and
Keep it
I'm
coming.
gonna be honest with you. If you don't have, not even on a Samsung, if you don't have Q90 and above, you're not gonna see VR. It supports a very limited uh version below that. Like you really need a high end TV right now that supports that feature. All right, so I'm just being real. It's the Q90 and above, and on the LGs, you know, GXs, CXs, they all have them, and anything above that has them. But you definitely anything below that, you're not you don't have the feature though.
Cook food, baby.
You, all I'm saying is don't come and say, "Hey, I can," I'm getting a benefit. You're not getting a benefit. Not only does your hardware got to support it, because let's talk about the PS Pro that's supposed to be 4K, but didn't even have a 4K Blu-ray. But the One S did,
Boy,
right?
heating up, y'all. He heating up.
The One S and the One X did, and also supported VR. Nobody even cared what it was until now.
And let's not forget the
I still don't care, to be fair.
Xbox One X had
You care, you just
1440p
don't. You
at
don't see
120
it. You
and
didn't.
VRR
The
turned
reason
on
why
in
it doesn't hold
2017.
more reason why it doesn't hold much weight to a lot of people that play on PC or had the One S or One X is because first of all, on the One S and all the Xbox consoles is automatic. So if a
Yeah.
game supports it, you automatically get it. You don't have to make any changes. It just happens.
And
If
on
you,
some games on Xbox Series X and S, it does it automatically.
well,
Like I'm
that's
talking
what I'm
about, even
saying.
if the game doesn't have the support for it, it will help the game because Elden
It
Ring I don't think has the support, and it's helping the hell out of
one
Elden Ring.
One X and One S did the same thing. It's the
Yeah, yeah,
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I didn't have a
Even
TV
if,
back then with the One X that
well,
could
I'm
do
just letting you
120
know,
either.
it's no different. They support Dolby Atmos, VRR. Everyone looked at this free sync. You know what I mean? No one paid no attention. This is a thing. So, um, what I'm getting at is that the main reason why it's so low is because one, Sony is not using the API that it was built for. They have a custom one. Everything they do is custom because they refuse to use um, Microsoft's API on their system. They want to use Vulkan. They want to use all these uh, custom things to get it to work. Plus, their system wasn't designed. It has nothing to do with the power. I want to get that
Right. It's
clear. It
not
has
the
nothing to do
power.
with the
No,
power
it's not.
because this is not a graphical. It's not a graphical feature.
That's a fact.
Remember, it's on the 1S and the 1X.
Right.
It's all about having those APIs that work together, right? DirectX 12 and all this stuff. Sony's not trying to do all that. The reason why it's so low is because of they have to do stuff custom. They don't have the feature set to support it 100%. Number two, it won't matter because most of the people who buy a PlayStation don't even have the TV that supports it anyway. They think they do. You have people out here telling people, well, all you got to do is buy this $400 monitor and you're good. No, you're not. Stop listening to them.
Most
All
people
right.
don't even know what VR is.
Let's just back up.
Like
If you got a,
race tracing, like my boy 100
if
said. They
you
don't know what that is.
the feature set is only available with the HDMI 2.1 for its consoles anyway,
Right.
2.1 interface. Because that it's not because of power, it's just the feature set.
Of the
Remember,
HDMI. Right.
it's just like HDR was really only available for that interface, HDMI 2.1,
2.0.
2.0, but
Right.
but the PlayStation 4 originally did not have HDMI 2.0, but they said that they put HDR in their games.
Right.
So they
The
lied.
same way Red Dead Redemption 2 had fake HDR.
So the feature, so there's a difference here. There's a lot of components here, and I'm not trying to. I have to be technical for you to understand. One, you got to have the interface, right? That's what supports the feature set when you're on console. Two, you got to have the cable that does the bandwidth. You can't just hook any HDMI cable up because it doesn't do the same bandwidth as the one needed to do the feature sets.
Right.
That includes 4K, HDR, VRR. I don't care what it is. Any regular HDMI cable is only what 24 gigabits. You need one with 48. Only one to
Regular
get that.
HDMI is not even 24 gigabits. They're 18.
Okay, well 18. So you got to get one with 48 gigabits, which is
48
an 8K,
gigabits. Right.
which is an 8K cable.
It's a lot of
would know.
variables. It's a lot.
Then-
People don't understand. It's a
then-
lot.
Then you need a TV that specifically says it supports VRR.
Yep.
Specifically, not just I'm gonna get a 4K TV. No,
You could
Just
have
like-
you could have a 4K TV that does 4K 120 and don't have VRR.
yes, that is 100%
People gotta realize
accurate.
that. You gotta
It
realize
has-
that.
It has to say specifically
Right.
it supports that feature. So if you're out here listening to what people are telling you ain't got to spend all this money on high end, yes you do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. This is what you asked for. You wanted next gen tech, you got to spend money to get next gen.
How about
All right?
this? We want SSDs fast as a space shuttle. So now they give you SSDs fast as the space shuttle prices. Yo, these SSDs cost too much money. But this is what you asked for.
What's really funny about that is this is 2022, and every NVMe that's PCIe 4 is twice the speed as the one in the PS5. Remember? And it's
Yeah.
supposed to make you better graphics, but it doesn't do anything for graphics.
Nope.
And it's still slower than any typical SSD you buy in the store now.
Facts.
But the speed of the SSD don't make the system better because it's all about the integral parts that work together.
You know what? PK ain't gonna let you kill no more people. We gonna
No,
move
no,
on.
let me finish. Let me finish. I'm trying to get to the ultimate part. You know, not only don't listen to everybody, do your own homework. All right. It's not something you can see. You do need the TV, you do need the console, you do need the games that also support it on your PlayStation because it doesn't have the hardware to implement to make things better. Think about it. The series was able to use their API to make backwards compatible games run at 60 frames.
Mm,
That is the same kind of technology that VRR is from.
that's a fact.
What VRR does is it takes the signal from your console and syncs it to your display. So you're getting the same frames.
Facts.
The reason why it doesn't work on anything less than 30 typically is because it's 30 frames and less, it's half the frames.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you're basically showing one frame at a time, whereas 60 and above you're showing them at the same time.
Facts.
So but here's another kicker. If you're playing at 120, it doesn't help you anyway. Because your frames are coming so fast,
Right.
you won't see you won't notice the screen tear.
That's why 120 matters, and it doesn't even have to be 4K or 1800p. It matters because it gives you more pinpoint accuracy in playing multiplayer games,
Right.
or games that's action packed.
So if you can get the 4K 120, it don't matter anymore. It's mainly for the 60 frame per second games, right? It's mainly for the shooters and the racing games.
Facts.
If you're playing a single player game, it's not
Like Ori, I don't care about Ori being 120. Like
I'm just saying it's not enough going on for it to matter.
when I
You know
said
what
that,
mean?
people was like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "It's really for multiplayer." Like,
Yeah, it's really
or shooters. It's not really for
really-
side scrollers, but okay, they put
But
it.
yeah, so they put in what they put it in what they can, and as they customize their API, it may get better. However, it still doesn't count because you still have to implement it in the game to work with their custom API. The reason why it's different on the Xbox is because everyone uses DirectX 12. It's a default thing.
Right,
It's
right,
open
right.
source. It's not custom, right? So everyone has the ability to implement this easier. And this is why they have Dolby Vision in the Xbox Series games now. I'm not
Which is
saying
not good for
that,
gaming. Oh, damn.
I'm not saying
Ooh.
that, but
Ooh,
hey,
did I say that out loud?
the feature set is there, right? Nobody cares about it, and then when PlayStation finally get it, then it's going to be this big deal. Come on, man. Let's stop with the cap. It's not that
Yeah,
you guys are sitting at home still playing Spider-Man because you don't have nothing else to play.
Oh, here we go.
And
Nope.
then
Nope. We're not going.
and
We're
then you
not
show,
opening that bag.
hey, you
Can we
showing
please move on to
Spider-Man.
these other
Wait,
topics in super
I
chat?
want to. I just want somebody in the chat explain to me, how do you see VRR in Spider-Man? How do you see that and then show it on Twitter or YouTube? How do you show that?
Editing magic.
You can't. It's impossible. It's not something you see.
I'm about to pull out an Iron Lord's time. Come on. All right. Let me get to Sir X-Men super chat that happened yesterday. Shout out to my man Sir X-Men super chat, $2. He said, Lemon, I said Sony was not ready for this gen. Facts. No, what they wasn't ready for was the onslaught of Microsoft and Game Pass. That's what they wasn't ready for. They wasn't ready to give up that power narrative, but they ready, man. Let's not get it messed up, Sir X-Men. The PS5 is a capable 4K machine. It's just not better built than the Xbox Series game of series. So that's what it is. They was prepared because it's definitely Sony just doing half-baked stuff because they got their backs against the wall, right? So they're not like a boxer who's aggressive. They're a counterpuncher. They're trying to counterpunch with stuff,
Can you turn that off, please?
and they're coming up short because they backs against the wall. That's more what it is. But you gotta give Microsoft their flowers, man. They messed up last gen, and this gen they coming out swinging. So Sony wasn't ready for Microsoft's rebuttal. That's what they not ready for. And shout out to Bloody Knuckles with the $2 super chat. Sony has repeatedly introduced half-ass ideas. Yeah. As PK showed me, their
Bloody
new
is
premiere.
wrong. They have not introduced any ideas. They just copied someone else's and have do it. You wrong on that.
You know what? let's move into a more happier topic so I could cheer up my light-skinned brother here. And you know what? He already touched on this a little bit, but this shows you what Microsoft is doing. They're like he brought up. We're gonna touch on this a little bit because he brought it up. This is one of the topics. But Xbox is partnering with Epic to put Fortnite on Game Pass Cloud, xCloud gaming, which is I think that's a win-win, right? That's definitely. I'm not gonna say your whole name, Itchy, but he said PS5 is a PS4 Pro. Yo, y'all are messy, man. Oh my God. Sony ain't no Floyd Mayweather one. Man, they not the best counter puncher, but only thing they can do is counter punch because they got no original ideas. That's a fact. But they trying. And shout out to Microsoft for applying that pressure. But real quick, so we can move on because PK killed these people in VR. Jesus. xCloud, Fortnite, one of the biggest still played games. I have over $400 in damn custom characters from Gears, Halo, Kratos, Marvel characters. I counted my characters and said, wait a minute, that's over $400. I didn't even know I had so many characters in terms of value. So listen, I think this is a big thing for Fortnite from Epic and Microsoft to be partnering with them to bring it to xCloud. Talk to me, people. We know this is a free-to-play game. We know this is one of the biggest games on the planet. Akumu, talk to me. What do you think about this deal? And give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think this works out the way that we're all thinking, which I'm pretty sure it will. This can definitely open up to, other games that might be experiencing, the same thing with these app stores. So this is definitely something that could start paving the way for a new, something for developers to start really looking more into, because it's like, oh, hey, we don't have to follow the stringent rules of like Apple, for example. We don't have to all of a sudden start giving them like 30%. We don't have to constantly be in battles with them, because sometimes, Apple even wants to raise the price. They're like, oh, y'all are doing really well. Okay, we want, a little bit more now.
You know who started that though, right?
Who's that?
Nintendo.
Oh,
They always wanted to keep a proprietary cartridge and charge you $35 per cartridge for you to put your game on their system. They've been milking the industry like that for years. I'm not gonna let you not you, but the industry say
right.
Sony's greedy because Nintendo's been doing it forever.
Well, I see.
That's why. Hold on. That's why the PlayStation exists, because they didn't want to use DVDs. That's the whole reason we have a PS1.
CDs.
No, well, CDs. They didn't want CDs or DVDs. They didn't want to do either. Correct. And then Sony said, we'll make our own system. That's how that came about, because they couldn't control the format that the games was going on. They was like, hell to the no. So go ahead.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, like, yeah, I'm not saying it's just Sony. I agree with you that Nintendo is greedy too. I mean, we've seen the things that they've pulled too. So that's why I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying no other company is greedy. I'm just focusing on Sony right now.
Sony got some horrible ways.
I just find it interesting that every Japanese company always every generation re-release their games to keep you buying the same thing over and over.
Capcom. Ooh, damn.
Yeah, Capcom is about to release their Fighters generation, like
I got
Street Fighter
gaming flu today.
Street Fighter 2 for the 30th time. And then, we get the Sonic's collection soon. And then we're gonna have Nintendo resold their games for for 6 months. They're gonna do it again,
And hold on. Let me respond to my boy Other Zeke. He said that Nintendo doesn't charge $70 for their games. First of all, Sony's not the only company charging $70 for their games. The reason Nintendo don't charge $70 for their games, because they're busting you in the head already for that cartridge money. That's why they're not charging $70 a game.
Well,
they're getting their money up front.
Right.
$35 a game from you making a game on their system. They're charging you $35. And shout out to Microsoft to dropping a percentage from that 30 to I think 18 or 12. I'm not really sure. I got to look that up again. But they went down on a developer of what they charged them for licensing their games on Microsoft. Sony doesn't care, but neither does 2K and whoever else, like Activision charges $70. It's not just Sony. These other companies are doing it too. So, let's just keep it fair here. But, everybody want to eat. Nintendo and Sony is not playing with the devs. That's just it. Go ahead, continue, Kumo. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, so that's what I said. I know other companies are greedy, but since we're focused on Sony, that's what I'm focusing on, because if I start on other companies, I will start on other companies.
Facts.
So that's why I'm saying. That's what I said. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Nintendo's not greedy or anything. I'm just
They're the worst. They started They started that. Sony wasn't even around. They was doing that. N64, right. Super Nintendo. They was getting the developer.
The thing is, if you want to talk a little bit about Nintendo too, they're very proud in their product. You notice that they ain't never go nothing on sale. Like, like
they listen. That's why they got so much money. People like, they sell a lot of games. Yeah, they do, but they also make a lot of money off another company too. A lot.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. So I think this is a good thing because, this is a way for people to get back to the original topic, a way for people to play this again. Because like I said, there's people, battling with these app stores, especially, starting out. And it's kind of like, man, this is like, we're just starting out. We're just doing this. And some companies are like, man, we don't got 30% to give you. Like,
right.
And there is no wiggle room. It's like, well, 30% or nothing. So this can open like a brand new way for other developers to really, I guess, get their foot in the door to start showing that, hey, we can do this. We just never been able to do it before because, well, we didn't have the money with them taking so much of it from us. And the fact is for, in this case, with like the whole Fortnite, what you need, like the Epic and Microsoft account. They're like, that's all you need.
Yeah, you sign up soon.
You don't even need, right? You don't even need Game Pass. That's what they're saying. You don't even need to subscribe to Game Pass. Or Microsoft's literally giving you a way to play this.
You do need a Microsoft account.
Well, that's what I said. I said you didn't need Game Pass.
Yeah.
But that's what I said. Microsoft is just like, okay, yeah, you just need your Microsoft account, your Epic account, and you're good to go. So they don't even have, they're not charging people extra going like, oh, well, you also need to buy Game Pass. And once you have Game Pass, then, you'll be able to play Fortnite. No, they're literally just, they're like, here, this is what you need.
Right. Because they took their stuff, they don't have that stuff behind the paywall no more in terms of playing online. So I think that was good. So PK, give me your thoughts on this before we get into these other topics. And I got to get into another super chat from my guy, Sir X-Men.
I think I went over most of this in it earlier. It's just more like, this is the another thing. I made this suggestion a while ago to some unknown people that free to play games should be on xCloud, and I'm glad that my suggestion is coming to fruition here. So this is a big thing because I kept saying, if xCloud is not getting the market it should, but if you start putting the free to play games on there, it will get more eyes on what xCloud, what the value of xCloud is.
I can go.
And this is the beginning because I named a lot of them: Apex, Apex, Fortnite, even games I play like Road Company. Anything that's free to play, I feel like, why not? If you can, it's not part of Game Pass, but I think it will be fine on xCloud. Facts. Just fine.
Facts. Okay, we're going to move on, man. Shout out to Griffin in chat. Let me get to this other super chat. I see you in the building, Mr. 181. I would still, with the Sir X-Men with the $2 super chat, I would still love to play my Steam games on Xbox. Okay, I can go with that. Maybe cloud-based, though, but I can go with that. That would be an awesome idea, but they're not going to shoot themselves in the foot. They wouldn't do it, but it would be awesome to do. So we're gonna move on, man. This is gonna lead into the really two topics. We're gonna talk about Embracer Group is buying Crystal Dynamics, Eidos, and other game titles. They're spending 300 mil. We've known that Guardians of the Galaxy, uh, Marvel's Avengers, and one more. What's the other game, man? Damn, the looter shooter that came out from Square that was made by these guys. Outriders. We know that lost them $200 million. What did you think about this acquisition from Embracer Group, man? They're a good company to work for, you know. So I think from what I'm gonna put out here, Square is ditching their Western companies. And this is definitely gonna lead into the rumor of Sony buying Square Enix, because I don't think if they wanted to be bought, that's the company they would link up with. But let's go to the first part, PK. Talk to me about this whole acquisition from Embracing Group, and now it's going to give them freedom from the legacy of Canes and some older franchises that might need to be revised and brought back to fruition, because we know Square was putting the handcuffs on these developers. Good looking bloody. So what do you think about this whole acquisition for these Christian
So,
Dynamics and Idols?
we've been hearing a lot about this for a minute. It wasn't Outriders. Outriders wasn't the underperformer that they were complaining about. During their financial hearing, they were complaining about their Marvel games not performing well, specifically Avengers. But yeah, they also was disappointed in the Guardians of the Galaxy sales as well. I don't know how much Disney charged for licensing their IPs. I have no idea.
Hopefully they're not like
Uh,
Nintendo.
but whatever they had to spend did not offset what they lost on these games.
Facts.
So they were complaining about this for a minute. Um, the thing is, it's weird because they sell half of their company to get into NFTs. That's what they're investing in. They're not getting bought by Sony. Let's just kill that noise. They would, if they were getting bought by Sony, why would they sell to invest into NFTs? That wouldn't make sense.
Which is failing
So, well,
horribly.
we don't know what's going to happen. The point is, it's just weird that they would do that. To go into digital crypto,
Right.
not just selling their development companies, but the IPs as well.
Right.
And think about it. They pretty much giving them away for free. Think about it. Tomb Raider,
I know.
300 million
Is a
for
steal.
for 90 IPs plus all the Western development studios. Microsoft would have bought that and gave them probably 4 times as much. Think about it, dude. Not just the development companies, but the IPs. The IPs hold more weight than anything because that is the engines that go with it.
Yeah.
That's all the technology, and Microsoft is all about the patents, right? So when the Embracer Group gets the patents along with the IP, that's, you don't know what they could do with that.
Right.
I just find it odd. But the Japanese companies, again, they have a weird way of looking at business. They don't, the problem I have with them is they're not adapting. They try to force things on you and give you what they want you to have and not what you want. And it's weird. And then when you look at it, they're sitting in a situation where, see, Embracer Group's already large. They're already tackling everything. And I
Right.
find it odd that no one's even raising an eyebrow that they don't look like a monopoly. You know what I mean? 90 IPs, my guy, and the Western Studios for 300 million. They literally they gave Tomb Raider away for free.
Pretty much.
And I keep
This
saying Tomb
series is
Raider.
like at 88 million sold too.
I'm saying this is so crazy time right now. And no, Sony, first of all, Sony used to own part of Square and sold it because they couldn't afford to keep it. They're not buying Square. All right. They only have 10 billion left in cash. They can't spend it on Square. Square is worth what, 4 billion, 4.8? They can't spend it on that when they have debt already with the whole uh Bungie deal. They just don't got it. All right. It would make sense their shareholders would kill them. If any other acquisition coming, it has to be small. It can't be large as Square, especially how Japanese people. Let me just tell you guys how this works in Japan. Japan, the reason why it's so difficult to buy a company in Japan is because they have this thing where they invest into each other's company so that no outsider can just acquire them.
Hmm.
So some people got shares in Square, some people Square got shares in another company. They do that to defend themselves from being acquired. It's how they do things. And now that Sony's pretty much abandoned Japan and moved to US, they don't care about that. They looking at what's making them money right now. And that's what they're investing in. What's making them money right now? And like I said, they don't come up with the best ideas. They're copying what someone else is doing. What is Microsoft doing? How are they making money? That's what they're going to be copying, not the failing business model in Japan.
Right.
Because the business model in Japan is not making money. Yes, I'm celebrating one of my favorite RPGs and best games of the year, 2021, Tales of Arise, sold 2 million. Amazing. However, it was 2 million. How many copies does Call of Duty sell?
Facts.
Even the failing Call of Duty of 2021 sold more than 2 million.
Of course.
But what I'm getting at is that's the direction Sony going. As far as this whole acquirement, it's just weird, and it's almost like they're crying for help. Why would you sell half of yourself to get into NFTs, a market that's not even proven to be? You're investing in something that has not proven itself to be equitable. Do you get what I mean?
No,
That's
facts,
just
facts, facts.
mind blowing to me. I'm not saying it's failing. I'm just saying we don't know what it's going to be yet. Why would you do that? I can understand selling maybe some of the studios, but your IPs, my guy, not even Konami's done that. Konami abandoned making games, but they didn't abandon their IPs. They might license the mugs out, but they ain't sold the mugs,
Facts.
right? I mean, Capcom has been beat up for the last 5 and 8 years. I know you guys don't know how bad they are. They filed bankruptcy. They messed up, but they
Yeah.
ain't sold none of the IPs.
Resident Evil 7 made them come back.
It was Monster Hunter World
No.
that made
Before
them
that,
come back.
Resident Evil 7 saved them.
Resident
Monster
Evil
Hunter
7,
World came out after.
Monster Hunter World had more sales than any IP they have ever created.
No. I
Period.
understand what you're saying, but the game that saved them when they had 137 million in the bank was Resident Evil 7 because
Because
it
I'm gonna tell you,
sold crazy. And then they made Monster Hunter World on Xbox and
because
PlayStation.
Street Fighter 5 lost them a lot of money.
Yes, it did. But that was
Okay,
before Resident Evil 7. They was
so
damn near broke. They claimed bankruptcy. That's a fact. But the game that turned that company around was 7. And then they dropped Monster Hunter World, and then they've been on fire ever since.
but I won't say fire.
Now they
They
on
still
fire.
missing.
Resident Evil 8 is
They,
awesome. The remakes
they
was awesome.
you, okay. You keep saying Resident Evil. That's not the only game they made.
I
All
said,
right.
what's the name was awesome too. Those Resident Evil remakes was crazy. It
Well,
sold.
three was not good. Three
But
was
people don't really like
pitiful.
Nemesis. I
It was
mean,
pitiful.
but
Um, they even dropped support for the game that they bundled with 3. So yeah. But anyways, point I'm making is it's just crazy for them to ditch their whole Western side world. It was funny he made that statement like, Japanese developers shouldn't make games like Western games because it don't turn out good. Maybe this is what he was trying to get at. maybe we don't want to make Western size style games no more. We
I
just
think
want to
that's
stick
what
to
it
what we
is.
know.
And I'm gonna get to that
And
point
then
later.
and then we want to invest in the NFTs for some odd reason. But whatever their reasoning is, that's their main, that's official statement from them. I didn't make this up. This is what they said. They want to take that revenue and turn it around to invest into this digital crypto market that's uprising. They
100
kept
said you in here
shouting NFTs, but
preaching the word.
at the end of the day, man, it's like this. I'm I'm looking at Square like you guys, if you guys want to do well, you got to start adapting. I say this to everybody in this technology world. If you don't adapt, you're gonna fade away. If you try to hold on to old business models, you're gonna get punched because the next person is doing the same thing you're doing but better is gonna overtake you. Netflix is facing the same situation. I keep saying they on top now, but if they don't, they're gonna be like the next blockbuster. Same thing with Square. If you really want to make that money, stop trying to hold your IPs to PlayStation. They don't care about you. 2 million? Come on, man. Not even Final Fantasy VII Remake has sold the amount has. That's why, think about it. When the announcement come out that Microsoft was purchasing Activision, they didn't care about no game.
But Call of Duty.
They wanted to ensure that Microsoft remains. Remember when Bethesda was bought, they didn't care. They didn't say nothing. But when they bought Activision, they was like,
They
"Oh,
made that call of Phil real quick.
oh,
But they're gonna have to
this
pay
is
for
different.
it. You want it, you're gonna pay for it.
This is different.
Mm-hmm.
This is different now." So that's what I'm trying to say. If Square really wants to make the money, first of all, be like Namco Bandai. Put 90% of your games multi-plat and stop trying to play sides. It doesn't work out. Trust me, it doesn't. If you got big IPs, do you think Bandai Namco or Namco Bandai hold Dragon Ball to their chest? No, they put Dragon Ball on every single platform they can put it on. Naruto, all their anime games, every single one of them. I don't care what it is, because matter of fact, what Scarlet Nexus is on Game Pass right now. Like, come on,
Facts.
man. They just announced, hey, we wouldn't have made 2 million sold if it wasn't for Game Pass. This is from them.
Yep.
I didn't say that.
Yep.
So be like them. Adapt. Get yourself in a position where
they just want to make their Japanese style games. They don't want to deal with the Western market.
which is fine, but put it to the point. Put it to the point where everybody gets to see it so people can consume it. If you try to keep trying to do the Sony route, you're going to lose. And that's just and you're showing you're being a loser because you're selling half yourself to a bigger company that's already, you might as well just go join them. Why sell half of you? Just join them.
Facts.
They got the money, they got the capital, they can make your dreams come true. Sony can't. They got to be careful on what they spend their money on. Right? You don't
Shout out
hear
to my man Christopher Hart in the chat. He says, I don't care Western Studios. I don't even play Tomb Raider. I hope Sony buys Square Enix.
They're not
play,
going to buy.
Do you play Spider-Man, Christopher Hart? Because that's a Western studio. Do you play God of War? That's a Western studio. You want me to keep going?
So is Horizon Zero Dawn and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So,
don't come in here with that.
Sony does not care about Japanese studios. That's why they sold their Japanese
and
division
moved.
Off. Right?
We out of here.
Because they know the money is in the Western development. That's where they're investing their money. They're in California
games, Japan or United States?
All I'm saying is,
okay,
Sony does not see Of course, they're a Japanese company, but there's no value. The Japanese developers do not make the same kind of revenue as the Western style games. Period. That's just what it is.
But we got to move on, son. We got to move on. I don't want to be beating up Sony for this. But boy, let me shout out to my man John Doe in the building. Shout out to my man, the Pothead Gamer. Yo, what up? Welcome to the show, my brother. Welcome, John Doe. I see you. My man Timmy's in the chat. Jigga J, you've been on fire all day. You and Zinc in the same chat, boys, ratchet out in these streets. But let me get to this super chat from my man. Let me scroll back up. It's $2 from Sir X, man. Imagine Nintendo buying Square Enix. They got the money. You know, that's another company that Square was in bed with also. My man Rain is in the building. Sorry I missed you, son. Yeah, we're gonna move on to Kumu. Please give me your opinions real. Well, you gave me this first, right?
No, PK went first.
Oh yeah, well, you know, PK went so god dug it long. I almost forgot what topic we was on. All right, give me your thoughts on first the acquisitions and the rumor of Sony buying Square, because I don't care either way. I don't buy too many Square games anyway. So
Dude, we're Kingdom Hearts fans, so I can't wait to hear what
right,
you got to say.
you know, I'm a Kingdom's Heart dude, but I also have a PS5. So if they buy them, I don't care. I'm gonna get the game regardless. I mean, I don't really.
So-
If they want to just, you know,
That
Final
doesn't-
Fantasy 16. Oh, it's on PlayStation. Oh, I don't care. I have one.
It's also on PC.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
yeah. I don't
doesn't
play
matter.
on PC. Yeah, I don't play. But I don't play on PC.
Yeah.
My PC is just for content creation. But I get you. I get you. So Kumu, talk to me. Talk to me about this whole situation, man.
Which one, the Embracer group or the rumors?
Well, the
Get
Embracer
them
group
both.
leads into two topics, so we guys will just knock them out because
Okay.
you know. Tell me about the Embrace Group. What do you think about all these IPs they basically inherited, and then get into the rumor of Sony buying Square Enix.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, you know what? I agree with what you said at first, Lemon. Your first thought, Square Enix is just looking to get rid of their Western studios.
Yep.
Because for me, when I heard this, it was like, okay, it wasn't so much about the acquisition as it was Square Enix just trying to get rid of the Western studios, because you hear all these acquisitions, and I'm gonna say 300 million is not cheap, but you don't hear any other acquisitions going for 300 millions unless they're like small time, right, or something
Bargain
like
bin.
that.
We know what this was. This was a bargain bin deal.
Right. Well, and that's exactly my point, because you figure Embracer Group bought Gearbox, and that was like 1.2, 1.3 billion that they did to buy the Gearbox studio. But then they turn around to Square Enix and they're like you said, bargain, but they're like, we'll be nice, we'll be generous, we'll give you 300 million. And Square Enix, like you said, they just looking to get rid of their Western studio, so they went bet.
Facts.
You know, I mean that's what it is. That's what it came down to. You know, even like by Square Enix's own thing, they're like, well, they kind of were like, well, we need to focus on what we know how to do, and they're like, we don't know Western games. So they're like, everything's underperforming. They set out and they're like, this is how much our company made for this quarter, and combined, the Western studios didn't even make like a drop in the bucket
Whose fault is
combined.
that? Whose
What's
fault
that?
is that? Whose fault is that?
I think that's their fault, but
Yeah, because look at how much marketing they put behind. Look how much marketing they put behind their Japanese games versus their Western games.
right, and that's exactly what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're blameless at all, because no, they're definitely not. I feel like some of the games came out, and it's just like when things aren't, like you said, things aren't marketed properly. Things come out, and then they're like, oh, this didn't do too well, and then people be over here like, well, when did that even come out? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen? And it's like, well, it's been out for like a month now, and they're like, you know, I literally have talked to people. They're like, oh, that was news to me. I didn't even know. So like, you know, so of course, what do you expect? And then then they want to go, and they're like, oh, we underperformed. Oh, this didn't make us money. Oh.
And they
Okay, but
also
you're not-
putting constraints.
you
They
get
don't
what you put
understand how to
in.
make. They don't understand how to make Western games, right? They're not a Western
right.
game company. They're a Japanese game
Right.
company. So you got Western developers that know what the Westerners want, and you're putting constraints on their development, the
Right.
direction, and everything else. But you want it to be successful the way you want. Because Guardians of the Galaxy was my game of the year. I'm sorry. That game brought me back to playing single player again. So that was my game of the year. And so continue, sis. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But you're right. I mean that's you're right. That's what it is. It's like they're like, "Oh, we hire these people because y'all know what y'all are doing." But then they want to look over their shoulders and be like, "No, not like that.
Right.
No, not like that." Well, how about we change this? And it's just like, and in the end, it's like, well, you're the boss. So okay, this is what you want. And then it comes out, then they don't they don't market properly. Or even if they market properly, it comes out with all the little tweaks that they wanted. And then, like you said, then the Western audience goes, I mean, is this like, what is this?
I didn't know if they thought Guardians of the Galaxy was supposed to sell 30 million, but let's just keep it real. Marvel's Avengers came out and it needed work in terms of the systeming, the leveling, many other things. PK
wasn't ready.
It wasn't
but
ready.
They pushed it. They
Right.
pushed
Right.
it.
Now, once they started dropping this content, especially it started with the additions of the single player and the multiplayer co-op experience. There's nothing wrong with Marvels now. That Black Panther content is crazy. I don't even know. People get stuck on something in the beginning and don't give it growth. And Zinc, Halo franchise is my favorite of all time. There's no game of the year. It's game of life. Anyway, Christopher Hart, I'm gonna get to you in a minute. This is a podcast where people talk sense. So when you start getting attacked in my chat, that's because you don't make sense. You said a statement, and I see dudes coming for you. And listen, it's a friendly chat in here. But you're the same person that didn't know Canada was part of North America. You got to be careful what you write. Just give a word of advice. But anyway, sis, so give me the second part. Do you think the bargaining price that they gave away these great IPs for is a conditioning of PlayStation picking them up? Because PlayStation don't have that much money to keep doing this. So, and they're used to buying companies that's already in bed with them, which makes no sense to me. If you already getting favorites, why buy?
Why are you gonna spend your money?
Like, it's kind of stupid.
Someone, right? No, I get you. Why spend your money for companies that are already with you instead of reaching those companies that aren't, so that you can be like, hey, now this is exclusive. Now you want this? Buy a PlayStation.
Right.
Like, no, I get you. It makes sense. It does from a business standpoint, absolutely. As far as them buying it, I'm gonna say I agree with PK on this point where they don't have the money. But I was gonna say I wouldn't, if they did have the money, I wouldn't be surprised because Square Enix already works a lot with them and exclusive and gives them a lot of exclusive games. And then to your point,
they pay for them. They don't give them.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they pay for that exclusive.
No, they paid for that initial Final Fantasy VII.
That's what I was
remake,
gonna
and
say.
they didn't give them $1. That was people making that up. That was not facts.
They did pay the extension on that exclusivity.
Right, they did pay for the extension, but I think if I remember correctly, after 6 months after the integrated version came out, 6 months after that, I believed that was the end of it.
But Epic now paid for an exclusivity, so I don't know. We don't know what that deal looks like.
I mean, that's
6 months or a year.
All right, I'll give you that.
I'm gonna leave it. Yo, listen. I'm just saying.
I mean, hey, I'll admit,
they're already getting favors. You don't need too much more.
He's right.
Hey, listen, I'm a Final Fantasy. I already own it, but I want to play it on the more superior system, which is my PC. I don't want to play it on PS5. Okay, with half features, right?
Well, first of all, it's not even a whole Final Fantasy game.
But
when are we supposed? It is, but when are we getting? When we getting the whole game? That's my price.
We ain't getting the E3, so we don't know when part 2 coming, but it should be announced this year.
Maybe selling these Western studios is going to allow them to focus on it, so we can hurry up and get the next part.
Let's not give them no
they
credit.
Want to get into FT. They said
that. They had three. Excuse me. That Final Fantasy VII was being made by 2 other developers until they took it back and did it themselves. Let's not give them the credit like they started that game and it had developmental problems. They gave it to 2 other companies, didn't like what they saw, and then took it back and did it themselves.
That's why they doing Unreal, so they can get this mug done faster.
Yep.
Yep.
And the other thing that I want to bring up about this rumor, like again, say they had the money or whatever. But even if they had the money, my thing is would they really buy it? Because we know that Sony all but left, the Asian market, the Japanese market. They're just like, hey, we're gonna focus on the Western. So why are they gonna buy a studio that literally sold off their Western companies to continue focusing on like their what they know, and that's the Japanese market and the Japanese games, and they're like, oh, this is what we know, this is what we want to focus on, this is what we're gonna work on, in the sense, because I know like PK mentioned like the NFTs things and everything, but I'm just saying in the video game sense, like as far as selling that off. So it's like, so I'm like, to me, it also doesn't make sense because it's like, yeah, Sony was like the Japanese company and all that, but then as we spoke about before multiple times, they pretty much all but abandoned that because they were like, oh, we're going to focus on the Western audience, but they expected that they were still all going to have like the, Japanese loyalty. But it's like, well, what have you done for them since y'all left? You're not even focused on them anymore. So to me, I'm like, why would you buy Square Enix, a game that literally sold off all their Western studios?
Again, they lost half of their IPs. Think about
right.
In other words, if I'm gonna buy something, what am I getting? The reason why they push for Bungie is because how much money does Destiny make?
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, why would you push for Square when Square doesn't make nowhere, not even a tenth of what Bungie makes globally?
Facts.
Bringing in on a consistent revenue. They want to invest. Sony already made a statement. They want to invest in games as a service type games going forward. There isn't a Japanese company that has made a successful one that has made as much revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Destiny is the biggest.
I mean, and again, going to like the IPs, I will say this as my little side note and kind of like ending statement. The Embracer Group, like you said, he bought the companies, you bought the IPs and everything. I hope, and I'm sure they will, because again, why would they otherwise? But where Square Enix is sitting on these IPs, I'm hoping that the Embracer Group now that they have these IPs, do something with them. I know that there's people out there that they're like, hey, we want another Legacy of Kain. I know people out there that's like, give us Thief. Like, and Square Enix literally been sitting on these IPs going like,
Mm-hmm.
Why
so haven't we got a Legacy of Kain? Why? That franchise is awesome.
Because it's a Western style game.
Facts.
And they don't want to put the money into putting it together.
Facts.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So that's what I said as my little side note ending statement. I'm hoping that now that the Embracer Group has all these IPs, that they're looking at this IPs and they're gonna look at, okay, well, people for a long time been wanting Legacy of Kain. Hey, we got that now. All right. Oh, people have been wanting. That's what I'm really hoping for, because I feel like why else would you have bought? Like PK said, right? They didn't just buy the studios, but they bought the IPs. Mm-hmm. So why would you do that if you don't have plans to use them?
Facts.
So that's what I'm hoping.
Now I'm gonna just say this one way. I know this ain't one of the topics, but just to get everyone and everyone that's watching, we're talking about Square. What we need to be looking at is Warner Brothers, because it is well known that the new CEO of Warner Discovery is selling off
IPs,
his gaming divisions and licensed IPs.
All right, so let's jump into that. You could go on the fly topic. We could definitely do a freelance show here. Let's get it. So, what do you want to talk about that? Because that's
I'm just
important.
saying that is the bigger thing, right? Because it has officially been said that he is at a price. He is I won't say he, but they are in talks with EA, Sony, and Microsoft of selling off
IPs,
their gaming divisions, like everyone, their studios, and their licensed IPs.
I'm gonna say this for the record. One of my favorite fighters. I want Microsoft to buy NetherRealm.
Well, to be honest.
Wait, I didn't remember NetherRealm was WB.
Yes.
I didn't remember that.
Yes.
Okay.
They got Warner Brothers Montreal. They got everyone. So the thing is, whoever gets this, whoever. Well, they're not. They're gonna sell the license to make the games, just like Sony, Disney does for Spider-Man. So whoever gets it will get the ability to make Harry Potter, DC, um, even Matrix stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything dealing with the uh, the studios and the IPs will go to that company. Now, of course, I would say out of the three, the only one that truly has the money is, Phil Xbox, right?
Right.
I mean, to give them a good bid, but we don't want it to go to EA because we see what EA has done to.
Star Wars.
Well, no, not
Just
Star.
I feel like any studio they've bought,
I, I'm
EA.
I'm saying BioWare, and they would have done it to the company that make Titanfall as well. If Apex wasn't a hit, they would have done the same thing. So to be honest, they're a terrible company to go with. Sony, again, this is why I'm telling you they're not buying Square. That's not going to happen. At least they had part of it. They sold it off because they had to recoup money. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The only company they've been investing in is Epic. And if they had any capital left over, which I'm telling you, they have about 10 billion. But again, 10 billion is not just to go into another studio. They have a lot of other. Sony as a company has other things to invest into.
Facts.
Right. So
We don't know how much this deal was going to be, but this will be super impactful.
You messy, Zinc. I see you out in these streets. You messy.
Whoever gets WB Studios is going to change the game. Now, I strongly believe that Sony is more in tune with buying a more Western studio than any Japanese studio because of how much revenue it gains, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially up under their umbrella. So Microsoft, on the other hand, is also in trying to be the largest Western publisher. I see them also being the ones to pick it up, but it's going to be who puts down the most money.
Well,
But
Sony
bouncing
can't
off
play
that,
that game. They can't play
Well,
that. Who got the bigger bag?
right.
Because
Well, I was
who
gonna
got the
say,
bigger bag.
bouncing off that point though, doesn't Microsoft have to be careful right now after all that fuss that was brought up with the Activision
they
Blizzard?
They don't.
That is a different situation.
Right. But
So
they don't have to worry about that.
Every acquisition is different, and they're the main thing that they were, quote unquote, getting hit with is how much mess is going on at Activision Blizzard, and will it be better off with Microsoft? That's what their
Right.
problem.
Well, I
was.
guess my main concern was because as you know, PK, because it was your tweet that brought it to my attention, was about how like the senators were getting involved with this whole thing, talk about Microsoft. That's why I'm like, okay, well, Microsoft makes another big acquisition. Are they going to kick up another fuss?
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain. Hold on, PK. Let me explain something to you. They did the same thing for every company, a major company like that, boss. There's always that few people that go,
Well,
we should try to stop this.
it just depends. Let me
because
just
they
say,
do it to Apple all the time.
remember what I say to you. It's not all about what they tell you; it's what they not tell you.
Right.
The reason why they make a fuss, let's be real, is because they're not lobbying for them. They're not getting their check.
Right.
All right.
Cut 'em
As soon as
a
they
check,
get their
they'll
check,
shut up.
they'll shut up and go their
Right.
own direction.
Like they
Let's
always
be
do.
real.
There's always
I'm not trying to go
somebody say
political, but I'm just being real.
Right.
Embracer Group just bought half a Square. Ain't nobody said a word.
Not a word.
You know why?
Right.
Because Embracer Group is already paying them.
Yeah.
So
Microsoft got the right senators on their team. Trust me. Everybody's cutting the check. Trust me.
This is how you follow the money, you'll find out what I'm saying. Trust me when I tell you.
Just like the FCC is investigating the Sony deal. So everybody tried to make a podcast on how they're trying to stop it. No, they just need something to do. They're not stopping anything about the Bungie
They're saying
deal.
stuff until they get their check.
Right.
All right.
Listen, it's
Once they get their
business.
check,
Once they get the check, they're
Right,
done.
everybody
They're like,
stops.
everything's clear.
Right,
Everything
right.
looks
Oh,
good.
wait.
Okay,
They just sent me a brand new Bentley.
I'm done.
Yeah, they ain't gonna listen. Some people feel left out, but you know when Microsoft says, "Listen," or any
Listen,
company, "Yo, listen, you need this for your campaign." This
Microsoft
is
already been
business.
down that.
Just
They
business.
already they already been down the route of dealing with the monopoly thing. They're not going to repeat it twice.
Yeah,
They got
and it
they
can't be a
pay a,
monopoly. They don't even have five
they
percent of the market.
let me just say this, Akumo. They spend a lot of money paying these big time lawyers to ensure that they don't have to deal with this. If
I mean,
Facebook can get
fair.
away with what they doing and
Uh,
Amazon get away with what they doing, what makes you think Microsoft can't do the same
all
thing?
right, that's fair. That's fair.
It's
All
business.
right.
You see these movies. You know what goes on behind the scene. You go to a senator that's fully against a bill, and then you be like, you know what?
But let me ask,
I'm gonna
let me
take
just
care of you
ask
once I
you,
get to the top.
let me ask you, and
That's one
I
of
would
those.
just say
That's
this
one of those money talks
Right,
moments.
right. That's a money
I
talk
got
moment.
you.
I'm gonna put it this out here, and I'm just gonna ask you first. I'm gonna just say, John Doe, they're not gonna buy all of DC. Okay, that's gonna stay with Warner. They talking about the licensed IP to make the games, which is different. But who would you want to see the all of the studios that's up under the Warner Brothers, Warner Discovery go to? EA, Microsoft, or Sony? Because they're the only ones officially sitting at the table talking about it.
Facts.
I think they'd be best under Microsoft. I'm not even gonna lie.
And I gotta shout some
No,
people out in the chat, PK. So go ahead.
yeah, no. I want you to answer too. Go ahead.
Shout out to my man Flip Money, Immortal Gamers in the building. I saw that retweet, Immortal. Thank you. I try to pay attention to everybody. I got somebody else I'm missing. Um, Man, Ozzy, what's good, Ozzy? There you go, there you go. And my man Flip Money's in the building. Listen, you know that boy Hart is in the chat. Behave and don't steal nobody's shit tonight. I want you to behave, Flip. You know what I'm saying? Because Flip is a woman stealer. You gotta watch Flip, man. He's a wild guy. But that, go ahead, PK. I'm sorry. Before we go on to Akuma with this.
So I'm at the end of the. I wanted to know what your thoughts. So who would you rather see
Oh, I
all of the
told you.
developers?
I want Batman on Xbox because Sony has no conscience on locking up a character. Batman, my
See that?
favorite character. Let's get Batman in Mortal Kombat.
I don't think they're going to sell the IP exclusively
Well,
to
listen,
one,
everybody else doing it.
but I do
I
think
got Avengers on
I
Xbox. I love Spider Man. I'm not buying that game again just for him. You know what I'm
I got you.
saying?
I got you.
They quick to
But I
do
would
that.
just but I would just say that for as Rocksteady as a company is on par, I don't care what nobody say, they are on par with uh what's same people who make
No,
GTA.
they on par with any developer.
They
They a top
that is
shelf.
that is the whole quality right there.
Mm-hmm.
Rocksteady. WB Montreal is still good. They still make good games. I mean, and then you got the NetherRealm. They listen, NetherRealm. The reason why I say this is perfect, right? Because was it Matt Booty and what's his name? They used to work together.
Mm-hmm.
They created the whole Mortal Kombat situation. So for them to come back together, that would be some crazy reunion, right?
Mm-hmm.
For them to come back together in the same umbrella. So that would be nice. And then they could work on the Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat, right? You know what I'm
I
saying?
love Killer Instinct.
But all I'm saying is, I'm just pointing out that they have many developers up under their studio who make the Lego games, et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
Right.
And what they already working on, Bethesda is working on an Indiana Jones, right? And then they doing
Yes.
the Harry Potter. I'm not a Harry Potter guy, but that's a huge
I am.
franchise.
That is a big
On
franchise.
every
That's a
last
huge
movie.
franchise.
Except the
Who would
goes
you
back to
want to see that
Mordor's
with?
movies. I really
Who
ain't a
would
fan
you,
of those, but
if somebody was gonna say, I want all or nothing, who would you think would be able to cap it?
go ahead, Akuma, you go. Because we're gonna move
Oh,
into the last topic after this.
okay. Like I said, I'm gonna say just because I'm gonna say Microsoft because it seems like they get the studios and then they still allow their studios their freedom, right? I've seen like with EA, they buy the studios and then it's Big Brother. They're watching them, or something happens and
No,
they're
no,
like,
no.
"Oh,
It's
we're
more like tyrant season.
well, okay, okay,
They're
fine, fine,
bullies.
fine, fine." Right, but either way, you get my point. I'm just trying to be a little bit nicer, but you get my point. Either that or they break up the studio and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that," and like then we know all of a sudden the studio's defunct, right? Because EA got rid of it.
Facts.
So I'm just like, there's these studios that just like, I don't want that to happen to them because, you know, um, I like the Monolith Productions because they made like Fear. I enjoy that game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
you,
me
you
and you
know,
love horror games. That's a fact.
right? Exactly. And then we talked about like the NetherRealm Studios, the Mortal Kombat. We talked about how you have like the Batman Arkham, the Lego games, which I'll admit, Lego games one is a guilty pleasure, and it's something that I enjoy playing with my nieces. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't want to see these studios, bought just to all of a sudden be stifled or to be defunct, and that's kind of been EA's track record. All of a sudden they stifle them and things like that, and it's just like, so I don't want to see that. And then Sony, I mean, we're not even gonna get into Sony. I'm just gonna say I think Microsoft is the best shot at buying these studios and having these studios be able to still keep their like the creative freedom and everything, and keep doing the games that people enjoy the way that people enjoy them. But that's me.
Hey, listen, I'm all for the smoke. We're gonna move into this last topic, man, and I'm gonna really insult some people because I hate people making fraudulent content, right? Halo's my favorite game. Halo series is phenomenal, right? I see a lot of people talking about Moon Knight. Moon Knight was not good. It's boring, but has very flickery moments of action. More talking than I want to see in any superhero, Mark. Still, that's my opinion. But I'm gonna say this for the record.
You also like Morbius, which has got the greatest. It has broken the record of the worst superhero movie ever made at the box office.
I
I
did like.
still haven't seen Morbius, so I can't
I
talk.
liked it. I didn't say I wouldn't. I can't suggest Moon Knight. I'm new to Moon Knight. It just didn't do it for me. I mean, it was boring.
Hey, tripping. I'm just.
No, no, no. Hey, listen. Everybody got their thing, but I'm just saying. I'm just
I would
saying.
not recommend no Morbius. Please don't. Please, please don't. If you don't want to commit suicide, don't.
Ah, damn. But I'm gonna say this: you have many people going out here complaining about Halo. Half the people complaining about Halo don't play Halo, don't know about Halo, or haven't read the books. So now, with the numbers being spoken by Paramount Plus, Halo has given them a growth of 148%, which catapulted them in new subscriptions and $585 million in bonus money in one quarter. Now, for those keep talking trash or trying to make content, because you have people out here that if somebody gets a winning lotto ticket, they'll make a thing say, yeah, the ticket was fake, and I'm going to show you why. Those are the people that have problems. They tried to make this show fail. It's the biggest video game show in the history of video game shows and TV shows being made. Paramount Plus was not a player in the game until Halo dropped. Now it's something to talk about. Their stocks went up. They already approved season 2 before these numbers even hit, so they knew they had something on their hands. Let me go to you, the queen, the birthday girl, Miss Education. Let me ask you a question. Now, you see what I'm talking about, and I'm really talking about these content creators out here lying about the show's not doing well. And when Paramount dropped these numbers, please give me your thoughts on the facts of what happened to Paramount, because they surely excited over there. Talk to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, Obviously, I'm not gonna say that. You know, Halo definitely brought in subscribers to Paramount. Like, I'm gonna say that. But I have also heard people like, because Halo comes out, it's every Thursday. So during this time, I talk to people. People have even said, yeah, they're like, yeah, sometimes it's just like, well, what else they have, and then people are like, oh, and then people start realizing like, oh, Paramount owns South Park now. It's just like, oh, a lot of people like South Park. So it's just like, so a lot of people got into that Star Trek. What was it, Picard? I
Oh, it's
believe.
awesome. I've been watching Picard.
Right.
Facts.
Right, so a lot of people started watching that, so they have their own shows that are drawing people in. So I'm not gonna say, oh, they're getting all their money like only from Halo. I mean, was it a big thing that first got these subscribers? Like, yeah, absolutely. Like they said, it was a global hit. It obviously helped put Paramount, up there.
But well, listen, these are Paramount numbers on watched. Only they could
Right,
put that out. Not somebody sitting behind a YouTube camera or camera on YouTube saying, well, it's not successful. Well, these are the
right, and that.
numbers reported from them from Halo being watched.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, overall, though, their whole subscription went up, and yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. But it's
148%.
not. But that's what I'm saying. It's not just because of Halo. Now, I'm gonna say it's definitely Halo. Definitely got it started.
No. I think
That's
it's
that's
all
what.
because of Halo, because nobody was looking for Paramount Plus.
Well, no, then that's what I'm saying. That's why I said Halo got it started. But I think as people started, because there's some people that were like, oh, I'm just gonna, wait and then watch all the Halo so I can cancel. And then people are like, oh, well, hey, they have this, they have that. And I know people that were like, oh, okay. But I mean, yeah, but strictly just focusing on like the Halo part, like
I'm gonna tell you this.
it's
70 million people plus watched Halo day one. And more than half of that was new subscribers.
Right, and that's why I said, and that's why I said, and that's why I said it did. I didn't say that it didn't come from Halo. I just said Halo definitely put them up there.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
didn't say that. That's why I said. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say, oh, Halo had nothing to do with these numbers. No. I said Halo definitely put them up there. They put them on the map. Halo brought in these subscribers,
Oh yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. But there's other things that are keeping them. Was my point.
Oh, I'm one of them dudes too. Like I'm a Star Trek dude. They got
Right,
Picard, they
and the
got the
only
new Star Trek series, they got
right
Discovery. I'm all in.
right, and the only reason why I'm bringing that up is because you're talking about like the people who are like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and Halo's doing horrible, and Paramount's doing horrible, and even if they have these numbers, they're gonna drop, and this and that. And that's why I said the only reason why I want to bring that up is because I have seen and I have heard people literally talk about, oh no, I got it for Halo, but you know what? I checked out a couple of these others.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
only reason why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
said don't get me wrong. Halo absolutely 100%
Open that door.
put them up there.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It put them up there. It's like, but a lot of these people also kind of want to be like, oh, well, all of a sudden, they want to brag about their subscribers, but just wait, they're going to go back down. And I'm like, but are they though? Like maybe a little bit, but maybe I don't think it's going to be
Listen,
a crash and burn like these people think.
I'm that people you talking about. I'm that person because I wasn't getting Paramount Plus, and when they announced Halo, I said, yo, I'm not gonna be paying for this. I'm ending my subscription. I'm that person you're talking about.
Right. Right. And that's right. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I'm talking. I don't know we're talking about Halo, but that's what I'm saying overall, because some of these people, while they're talking numbers for Halo, they also want to focus on, well, even if it is because of Halo, it's going to drop off because of that. And that's why I'm like, don't be surprised if it's not as much as you think, if any.
I'm keeping it because I gotta watch
right.
my
And that's what I said. And that's what I said. That's the only reason why I'm doing like the broad overview, right? Because I want to cover what all these people are saying, not just like the Halo.
I mean, but listen, let me give you a scenario, right? And I agree with you because like the person you're talking about is me. If they didn't have Halo, we got to get that out the chat. If they didn't have Halo, I would not know about none of that. So I'm just telling you.
Right.
They open the door. You know what I'm saying? And I got you. I agree because, like I said, I am that person that you're talking about. I was like, oh, okay, they got this, they got that, they got this. And then I'm also not paying for it. I got a year for free through T-Mobile. Shout out to my boy Dragon Yobi.
Right, and that's something else that I want to say. Full disclosure too. I ended up getting that Paramount when they had that promo, and it was like so many months for $2. So I'm like, hey,
Right, right,
that's
right,
what I'm saying. Full disclosure, full transparency.
right.
I'm getting months for $2. Like I don't even remember. I think they had a deal where it was like 6 months for like $2, and I'm like, all right.
I didn't even know. PK brought that to my attention, and not PK. I meant to say Dragon Hunt Yobi, and he sent me the link. I got that and Apple TV the same day for free for a year because of T-Mobile. Shout out to T-Mobile. Shout out to T-Mobile. But go ahead, continue before we go to PK.
Sorry, I was getting a drink.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
But yeah, but I'm like I said, because that's one of the things that I hear people when they're talking about this argument, even if it's Halo, they want to do broad. So I just wanted to cover the broad thing.
I got you. I got
So that's why I just wanted to cover. Yeah,
and
like
as
I
you
said,
should,
Halo
as
put them
you
on the
should,
map. Like,
because I'm included in that. I'm included in that. I was that dude, so I understand.
right,
But I know why I showed up. It wasn't
right,
because of
right,
anything else but Halo.
right, exactly, and that's what I said. Halo put them on the map. Halo definitely put it up there, and that's what I'm not taking away from that at all. But I just wanted to specify, clarify, whatever.
Right.
That I'm talking in the broad sense because a lot of the complainers that I've been hearing and people that want to get all fussed about it are focusing on the broad picture. Like, oh, well, even if it's just Halo, well, soon, as soon as Halo's gone, I'm like, you know what? I just want to focus on the broad picture. I'm not just going to focus on that because
I just got mad because
put it
before
up then.
people had the facts, they make all these videos discrediting something, and they have no
Oh,
validity to what they're saying. And as a content creator, we're responsible to give people the truth. Now, you can sell people whatever you want, but all of y'all look so stupid. Yeah, just look like, just like I told you, we was talking behind the scenes about Doctor Strange and all these spoilers before the movie even came out.
yeah,
And
yep.
these people out here lying to you. Oh, this character's in it. It's Iron Man. It's this, it's that, it's that. And then you go watch the movie and say, where did you even get your facts from? Like, nobody was right. So I'm gonna stop. I unsubscribe from many people because y'all out here lying. Talking about you got sources, and that's my thing. You out here yelling out sources, and I know somebody that works for Kevin Feige, and you're
What
a
is
liar.
it? It's like how do they do that? My friend's friends, boyfriends,
I know
Right.
somebody
girlfriends,
that
friends,
works for.
friends, whose
I know
cousin.
somebody that works for Kevin Feige,
Yeah,
and
but
I
you
ain't
also
lying.
do real interviews on 4GQ TV. And you're a responsible content creator. We talk about these people out here who continually to drag people who think this YouTube space is so real, and the people you follow and it's lying. I don't get it. But anyway, PK, talk to me before we get out of here. This is the last topic, folks. First of all, let me give everybody here a round of applause that showed up tonight. Y'all was absolutely amazing. Y'all giving us y'all weekend. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Y'all know y'all planning. Y'all buying flowers. Y'all getting cards. Y'all buying gifts. And congratulate to everybody's moms, grandmoms, niece, daughter, whatever, man. Shout out to the women out there. Akumu, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna say Happy Mother's Day to you because Bloody is a big ass baby. So you taking care of him. You taking care of child. That's a fact. But with that being said, PK, talk about the success of Halo destroying the market compared to what people claim it was doing. But give me your overview before we get out of here, bro.
So I've been saying this for a minute, right? We have seen the success of video games coming to TV and movies since what? Detective Pikachu. Ever since someone took the time to put quality time and production into a video game medium. Now we have Witcher. Now we have, and what, Sonic 2 just broke all kinds of records. Now the highest
Facts.
grossing video game movie to date, right? Had held a 97 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's unheard of. You know they don't like movies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I use that app, by the way, to book
That's
my movie
unheard
times.
of. That's unheard of, yo. And this, and I'm gonna just put it out here like this. And I'm not even saying nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with Doctor Strange, right? Because I love Doctor Strange, but it's Doctor Strange is 77. Sonic's a 90. It ended on a 95. What that mean?
Amazing.
I'm just telling you from the idea that now we have Halo, right? We have Halo. We have the fact that we can now, and I know Halo's been through some production hell, but now they believe in it because these numbers show that people are interested. 148% subscriber growth is insane.
Right. That's crazy. Right. That's crazy.
And retention is there too because like you said they're seeing other shows that are
Yeah,
like, oh, this ain't too bad. Now I'm gonna keep it real. They need to take some of that money and improve their app because their app needs to work. But
it does.
outside of that,
And
the
let me
content.
ask a question. Excuse me, PK. Let me throw something. Let me throw a little salt on them. What's up with these commercials? I mean, I know you're at $5 after a year, but what's up with these commercials? Like, I don't want no goddamn. I want give me a Netflix price, and I don't care. But these commercials gotta go.
I
Go ahead.
care. I care. All right, I care. So don't give me no Netflix price. People are think I'm that's $20, cuz all right. I ain't saying I'm that dude that watches all the content. I'm just saying I'm there for Halo. Everything else I got Sling. I can watch all that somewhere else. But point I'm making is um it's showing that people are interested. If you haven't noticed, Netflix is showing that they showed a teaser of the Sonic TV show coming, right? The Sonic Prime. It's a
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's a thing. Um, how many video game movies are in development right now? We got Borderlands, Mario, Super Mario Brothers got pushed up to next year because Miyamoto, the man himself, who says every video game that gets a delays usually turns out to be a good game. He applying that to the movie too. He want the movie to be good, so he himself took the reins and said, "Nah, we're gonna push that out to next year." But we got all these video game titles. Minecraft. Minecraft is a movie. Yes,
Oh yeah.
I'm not looking
Yep.
forward to that. Minecraft don't even have a story.
I wasn't looking for it to Lego. I I wasn't looking for Lego the movie, but you know what? That was good. It turned
No, no,
out
no.
to
The
be
Lego
good.
movie was crazy, but they got
But
something to go off of.
I liked
What
no,
it.
the hell could possibly be
but wait a
in a
minute.
damn Minecraft movie?
I'm just saying.
Well,
I
give it
don't
a plot.
know, but the point I'm making is they believe that there is an audience to entertain. So they put money into this joint to make it happen. So that means they are looking for that same the same receptacle that people go watch Marvel superhero movies, right? They
Mm-hmm.
seen that grew into $1 billion business. Now the video games are now growing into that same market.
Mm.
That's the trend that I'm trying to point out. It's turning into $1 billion franchise outside of the games, which
Facts.
is dope. That means we get to see. Think about if Destiny had their own movie, right? We
Facts.
seen the live action commercials. Like, yo, I would love to watch that. Division is getting produced. Think about Division. Splinter Cell is on the produce. What? Are you kidding me? Call of Duty is getting produced. Now, if you think Sony was scared about Microsoft not allowing Call of Duty on their console, think about how crazy it's going to be to have Call of Duty as a live action movie, my guy.
Facts.
That's going to change the world. So yes, this shows that there's an interest and people who might not play the games are still interested to see the content on a different medium that they're comfortable with. So Halo, yes, a big huge win, a huge W, a very good gamble on Paramount side to invest into this IP,
Facts.
not knowing what it's going to turn out, but hey, it turned out to be great. Now all they got to do is is keep pumping that money to give us even better quality the next season.
Facts.
Get some really good writers on board. Get some really good
Hmm.
people who got a vision to steer this in a direction where it's going to be on for the next 5 to 7, right? because that's how long most shows last, 5 to 7. But if it goes beyond that, that's
Most
even
good
a
shows.
quadruple win,
Most good shows.
right? But you get what I'm,
At least
but you get
five
where I'm
seasons.
coming from,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So we want to keep that momentum. We don't want it to die off. So I think it's a kudos for them. It's a boon for
Hmm.
everybody. But more importantly, it shows that all of our, I don't care if it's God of War. You know, God of War be crazy, crazy. If
Yep.
they get the right people behind it to produce it, it'd be
Yep.
dope. But you gotta believe in the product. Don't change the product just for the sake of changing it.
Facts.
keep keep the core characters still core, and tell you could tell any story you want. People will still come to watch. And I
Facts.
don't want to hear nothing about people saying they changed story of Halo. Sonic the movie is the most highest grossing movie of all time and has nothing to do with the games.
Yep. Made a good
But you
story,
know,
made a good
but
movie.
but you
Yep.
know what? Because they kept the characters core, it didn't matter. They told a good story.
Facts. That's what I tell people about these Marvel movies. Stop going to the Marvel movies and thinking they got to do everything and follow the comic book. That's impossible. You
It
got two and
well,
a half hours to make a movie decent.
not only is it not impossible, it's an unfair expectation.
Right. We
And you
got
know
we
what?
got we got 40 years of comic books, and y'all want them to put that into 2 hours.
And
Okay.
I'm just put it.
I mean,
And since we
That makes a
live,
whole lot of sense.
I'm gonna say this since you said that for that person out here who thought that Morbius can beat Blade, you lost your ever creeping mind, your pineapple mind, yo. Blade is a vampire hunter. That's what he does for a living, in various
And that's
kinds.
how he met Spider-Man, chasing him to New York
So
City.
so there is
Because
no
Morbius was
version of
running.
there is no there is no version of Morbius that could ever beat Blade. Sorry,
Facts.
this is not gonna
Facts.
happen.
mhm.
Especially
Right?
if it's Wesley Snipes, my favorite
Especially
franchise over there.
especially if it's the Wesley Snipes Blade.
Facts. But listen, man, we gonna get out of here. And shout out to my boy Bloody, man. And I'm gonna shout out 2 shows too. But you see my man Grogu right here. This is how much of a baby you is, or you are, or you wanna be. Akumu, shout out to you and Grogu. Say what's up. Say hello. This is an original sideshow right here. A real collectible. And let me tell you something, Bloody. I'm gonna tell you what else. She probably changing your diapers. Bloody gonna kill me. Well, listen, I want y'all to go check out my man King with Combat Talk tonight. Tonight, Canelo got to fight that dude, my brother. Yo, listen, man, that's my amazing friend right there. He's absolutely awesome. His energy is crazy. And go check out my boy 100 Xbox Day One podcast, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I think it's 10:30 or 11 o'clock. But go check him out on Mr. 100's channel. He crazy, and he definitely be talking that ish over there. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, give yourselves a round of applause. You have been absolutely amazing for giving us your time on this crazy family orientated weekend. And shout out to my panel for always coming through. And yes, Bloody, yes, I do say you winded, but imagine if I had you and PK here every Saturday. We'd be putting up some Iron Lord podcast numbers. It'd be 4 hours.
You know the difference between me and you, Bloody, is I don't worship the Japanese market.
Oh, shots
I
fired. Yo, Kumu, say you gotta be like, don't be talking to my child like that. But yeah, Akumu, give them your outros. Tell them where they can find you, sis. Once again, absolutely amazing. You know your stuff. You talk your ish, and you give people the broader picture. That's what I'm talking about, sis. Tell them where they can find you.
Obviously, you can find me here on Saturdays in the Dragon's Den. For real, this week, I will be starting streaming. It just was chaotic this past week because my birthday, and then everybody was like, "Oh, I'm free. Let's go out for dinner." So it threw my whole
Now, I'm
schedule
gonna put
off.
some
And
New
I'm
York.
just
I'm gonna
like,
put some New York on it. I don't like how you said that. She said, "We turning up. It's my birthday. What's good?" That's what she said. We turning up, buddy. Put on your best dress, kid suit, and come on. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Um,
Sorry, but not sorry.
Right, sorry but not sorry.
um, and then I have started doing some recorded content this past week, though, in the daytime since I took off a week to just kind of relax and fix my sleep schedule for the job coming up. So hopefully I'll get on editing those soon. I like to edit, but I'm also out of practice for editing, and I can be a bit of a perfectionist. So give me a little bit more time
Facts.
to get that stuff up on YouTube.
Okay. All right, and to my light skinned brother, aka Baby Heavy D, aka Baby Ice Cube. What up? What you got coming up this week? Will you be popping on some big interview? Cause you be doing some big things over there at 4GQ TV. Talk to me, PK. What you got coming up, man?
So we got a lot of interviews. One of them that I'm super excited for. He is writing the current run of the Blood Syndicate, which is a part of Milestone Media. Um, I'm having a brain fart here, so I'm gonna go look it up real quick. Basically,
He said I'm having a brain fart. You know we got pop-ups for all that.
yeah. So, yo, yeah. So, he's writing the current run of the Blood Syndicate season 1. I'm super excited because Milestone Media is a huge integral part of what pushed and allowed the space for more uh, minority content creators in the comic book era to be able to write and create characters, right? So this is I'm super excited for that. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming through, man. There's so much I got to get reminded. Um, we just had the creator of Bone on last week. I mean, man, it's crazy. When soon as Netflix announced their loss, they had to cancel his show, which is unfortunate. But I'm sure once they recoup and reorganize, they'll come back and get him back to do Bone the animated. That should be dope. Um, but yeah, man, I got a lot. Definitely hit me up, PKX Live on Twitter. Um, here on Dragon's Den, where we have discussions. Not killing. We just say facts. Let me just be real. I'm not even. I'm not killing. I wouldn't say nothing if it wasn't true, man. I mean, I got my opinion. I'll say it's an opinion. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but you
Like,
don't try to make your opinion of facts. That's
right
what I'm talking
now.
about.
Now you could argue that Morbius can beat Blade all day. That's an opinion. There's always going to be one. There's no. I could go however it's written, right? And then but at the end of the day, technology is my strong suit, so I'm gonna say what it is.
Facts.
And definitely on 4GQ TV, we're gonna do some more entertainment. So come back and see us. Shout out to everyone that come through and watch us. I appreciate us. Without you, we have no show.
That's a
Thanks
fact.
for sure.
That's a fact. And as your host with the most, baby, you know it's your boy Lemon 23, aka Lamiti. Yes. Back with another one. Back with episode 54. I want everybody that came out, man, have a good weekend. Enjoy your time with your loved ones, man. Bring it in safe, man. And I'm telling y'all been absolutely amazing. Even you, Christopher Hart. Shout out for you pulling up, man, because you one of the dudes I really enjoy antagonizing your statements. I really like getting at you. But you know what? Shout out to you. Everybody here is welcome in. This is a universal channel. We do what we need to do. We give you the news organically that we want to give you and what you need to hear. Or we love to get your feedback. Shout out to Dreadpool that just pulled up. My man Dreddy Dread in the building. And if I missed anybody in the chat, man, always hit me up. Lemon, I'm here too. God damn it, I'm supporting. Just hit me up, man. I try to shout out everybody. I got a multitude of screens over here. I'm running this podcast like a Channel 7 ABC production over here. So if I miss you, it's not on purpose, man. I try to respond to the chats, even though it don't have to be a super chat all the time. If you say something that needs to be validly said, I still point it out and I address it, man. I definitely do. Please don't let Bloody bother y'all. See everybody attacking Bloody. Don't attack my man. He's still my man. We got jokes over here. He's still my guy, man. But we will see y'all next week. Episode 55. And let's see what this gaming week on how it's going to be good to us. And I hope everybody's excited for any new game that Trekker Yomi awesome game dropped this week, and I will be doing something on Shredder's Revenge. The devs hit me up with some content, and I will be talking about that in Monday's episode on One
That
of
was
Space
so
Dev,
fun to
Dragons.
play.
do
That
you
was
know when
so
that
fun to
game's
play.
dropping?
No, they just gave summertime. They just
The
gave
Shredder's
summertime.
Revenge.
Oh, shout out to my man Clowns. He pulls up at the outros. That's what I'm talking about. My man 4GQ TV just pulled up. You know what I'm saying? And why you didn't bring Pineapple Paul? Oh, let me get the super chat before we get out of here. $10 super chat for my man Clowns, aka Carlo, the host of 4GQ TV. He says the right hand of Zeus. That's right, because sometimes we gotta smite these lion content creators down. And I'm here to do it. Facts. See y'all in the next one. Everybody have a good one.